Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Lila Web Dev. Today we will be diving into the core Unix concept, how executable files work, how arguments are passed, and how we can interact with the processes using the Node.js. So let's try to learn about the system level programming. So I will try to do it. So when you run a Unix executable file, the operating system kicks things off by calling the main function of that program. So now this is true for any Unix executable file. So you try to understand that Unix executable file is nothing but the C program executable file. So whether it is written in C, Rust, Go, or even Node.js, so which is built in C under the hood. So the main function is the entry point and it receives arguments you pass to the program. So first of all, let's look at a simple C program I wrote. So we will write it to demonstrate this. In C, the main function gets two parameters, that is argc and argv. So here let's try to write it. I am creating a new file that is nothing but playground.c file. Okay. And here, so what I can do, so first one is the hash include standard input output.h file. So header I am including it. So here you will be having the first one is the int main, and here you will be having int argc, okay, then count of the arguments, and you will be having the number of arguments passed to the program, and we will be having the argv, okay, so it's an array. So this one is nothing but is an array of strings containing those arguments. So now what I would be trying to do it is, so first of all I need to get the process id. So in order to get the process id, so what we need to do it is, so here in this one, so we need to hash include, and here I will be using the unistandard.h file, so that I can get the process and all those things. So fine, in order to get the process, so let's try to printf, and here I will write it. So process id is %d, and here I can write /n, and what I can do, get PID, yeah. So this one you will be getting it from the uni standard. So now I want to get the parent process id also. So in order to get the parent process id, so here parent process id, parent process get PPID. That's it. So now we got the parent process id and also the process id. So what I will be trying to do is, I will loop over each arguments. So whatever the arguments, area of arguments we are having, I will loop over each one. I will loop over each one here. Let me copy. I have already this course. So let's try to loop over each one. Okay. So I will be looping over each one, each argument. Okay, argc and I++, and I will be printing argv of I. So that's it. So this is a simple program which I will be trying to do it. So now in this program, what I will be trying to do, I am looping over each argv to print each argument. The first argument argv of 0 is always the name of the executable file itself. So I am also using the get PID, get PPID from the unit, so the standard h.header file to print the process ID and also the parent process ID. These functions let us interact with the Unix system calls to get the process information. So let's try to check this output. So let's go to our terminal. So here I am Unix terminal. So for running this one, so we need to use the gcc playground.c file, and the output should be the playground. So the output should be the playground. That's it. So now if I try to print, if I press enter, so here this one will create a Unix executable named playground. So if you try to see in our finder, let me open the finder, reveal in finder. Yeah, here you will be able to see this is an Unix executable file. So hope you are able to see it clearly. I will make it bigger. Yeah, here you will be able to see this is an Unix executable file. This is an Unix executable file. So now, so let's try to execute this one. So if I try to execute this one, so directly Unix executable file means in the shell program we can execute this. So dot playground, and I can send whatever the arguments I want. I can send it like -f, -ht, so something else 42, like this, whatever the thing you want, you can send it. Now if you try to see here, the process ID is 44549 and the parent process is 3414, and these are all the arguments which you are able to get it. And if you want to know the shells is 3414, which is nothing but the parent process which you are able to get it. So that is the thing. So notice that argument 0 is always the executable name, and the rest are all the arguments that I have passed it. The parent process ID matches the process ID of my shell because the shell is what launched this program. So that is the main thing. So this argument passing mechanism isn't just for C, it is also a Unix, it's a unique standard. Whether you are using Python, Java or Node.js, when you run a program in the Unix environment, the first argument is always the executable or the script name, followed by any traditional arguments. It's a universal concept. Okay. So now let's see how we can run this C program from a Node.js application using the child process module. So here, so we have a simple C program, right? Let's try to run this C program using the Node.js, using the child process. So let's try to open our code. Here we are having the playground.js file, right? So here what I will try to do. So here is the Node.js script that spawns the playground executable. So how I can do it? Let's try to do it. So here I will be having something like here. This is the thing. Okay, playground. Okay, so this is the this is the executable file, so which I will be trying to do. And if you want, you can give the path like this. Fine. And here I can pass the arguments, whatever the arguments I wanted, I can pass it. So here I can pass these arguments, something like this. Here I can paste the arguments, whichever you want to paste it. So this is the arguments I am passing it. Okay, let's try to execute this one. So Node.js code, I will be going to here. Let me clear it off, this one all. So node, what is that one? Playground.js file. .js file. I try to run this one. See here. Oh, okay, I need to console the output, right? So here, let's try to what I will be trying to do. Sorry, yeah. So now here, let's try to check the output for this one. Let's try to run this. See here, you are able to get this one. This is all coming from this one. So now let's try to check the process.argv. We have seen it, right? And here I will try to check the console.log process.pid. I want to check the PID also. Now if you go here and if I try to clear it up and if I run this one, and here see the process ID for this one is 4649 and the process ID of the C program is 4660 and the parent process ID is 4659, which is nothing but the Node.js. So that means the Node application has started the C program, that is nothing but Unix executable, right? The process, it has been started. So that is the thing. So this is how you will be executing. So now here you have created a spawn process. Okay, so in order to execute this one, not only this one, whatever the applications you are able to find it in our Linux application or Mac application, so you can able to initiate or you can able to create the process or you can able to spawn the process using the Node.js application. For example, let's say that in our Finder, so I will be having the applications, right? So these are all the applications which I am having it. For example, let's say this is the Wireshark application, so which it will have an Unix executable file. So let's try to run open this application. So if I try to check the show package contents, in the contents and in the macOS, so here you will be able to see that these are all Unix executable files. So this is the Wireshark Unix executable file. So let's try to open this application or spawn this application using the Node.js. So for example, let's say that here I will try to open the terminal tab at folder here, and let's try to get the current working directory. Oh, sorry, pwd, and this is the current working directory. So let's copy this one and let's go to the Node.js, and here I will try to run this one. Okay, and here you can remove these all arguments. Okay, so for process we are trying to run, right? So now we got this application. So now let's try to do the ls-l. So these are all the executable files which you are having. So red color indicates the executable file. So let's try to copy this one, Wireshark, and I will paste this Wireshark here. That's it. So now let's try to run this application. So let's try to see whether we can able to run this application or not. So let's go to our unit tab here. So let's clear it off, this one all. So here I will be running this one. See, automatically the Wireshark has been opened. So that means who has run this Wireshark program? The Node.js application has run this Wireshark program. So now if you try to check it in our activity monitor, so if I open this Wireshark, so this is the Wireshark, right? If I click on this one, see here you will be able to see the node. Okay, so maybe you will be able to see it or not correctly, I don't know. So here the Node.js has started this 4736, it is showing it, right? So it has started, the node application has started. So now The node application started by G shell. G shell is by login, launch the terminal, terminal launch the, and last one it comes to the kernel task. So like this, the process chaining has been implemented. So now that means we can able to open the Wireshark. So now if I try to stop that window, so for example, let's say that let me go to the terminal, and here I will stop this Node.js. Automatically the Wireshark also has been ended. Why? Because the child process, the Node.js application is a parent process and is the child process. So that's why it has been ended. So some process will be there which the parent process, even it is terminated also. So it will not be the child process will not be terminated, but it will be going into the launch D init process. So I will try to show you those type of process. Like let's assume that in our applications, open in Finder. So in our applications, let's go to our applications. Let's say that MySQL workbench. Okay, so let's go to our show package contents, and this is the contents, and here is the macOS, and here we are having all the what I mean to say executable files. So let's try to open this terminal at a folder. So now here you'll be able to see. So let's try to get this current working directory. Okay, so this is all the current working directory. Let's go to our terminal. Let's try to see whether, I don't know whether it will so let's try to check it, and this is the macOS, and let's go to our terminal, and here I will try to print lsfnl, and this is our MySQL workbench. This is the thing which I would be trying to start it. So here let's go to our thing, and here I will start this MySQL workbench. Okay, so let's go to our Node.js. Okay, and here I will start this node. So here the MySQL workbench has been started. Now I will stop this one. See here, it was still running. So if I try to close this, and this one I will quit this one. Again I will try to start it here. Node playground.js file. So MySQL workbench has been started. So let's go into the activity monitor, and here I will try to search the MySQL. So this is the workbench. If I click on this one, so node has started this one. So the process has been, this is the child process for the node, and node again G shell will be the login will be the terminal will be the launch day and kernel task. So now these are all the child process which will be started. So now if I stop this node process, so that means the parent process has been stopped. So now still this one is still MySQL workbench is still opening. So let's try to check in the activity monitor. So who is the parent process for this one? The parent process for this one is null. If you try to click on this one, see, now this one is a zombie process. So now this doesn't have anything, and now this one is a zombie process. So this type of process doesn't have anything. So it doesn't have anything. So now this type of process we need to end it. So let's try to kill that process. So this is what I want to explain it to you. So anything, so any process, if you try to see, this is the bash process which has been started, and launch day and kernel task. So like this you need to have it. So when I stopped this Node.js process, automatically the MySQL workbench is running, but doesn't have any child process. So that one is a zombie process. So like this you need to understand. So now I hope that you are able to understand about this one, right? So that's it guys about this child process in the Node.js, and also I have shown you a simple demonstration of the C program, and also in the macOS applications also how these Unix executable files we can execute it through the Node.js. I have explained you. So if you that's it guys. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video, and if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.